Get ready for Real Talk with Pasha B in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Real Talk with Pasha B. We have a studio full of people today.
Negras.
Oh, okay. Demecos has just introduced himself. Hey, Demecos.
This is not a representation of my brand and company. Yes, it is.
Demecos is here. We have Noelle.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Noelle. We have Tracie.
Hola.
And
Un poquito. Not mucho.
Oh, mommy.
hey, you puff pass. I'm going in rotation. You throwing it off now. You killing the vibe. Jason.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Jason. And we have Sheneka.
Hey, Pasha.
She thinks she's going to be quiet, but she ain't. Pull that goddamn microphone up to your face. We're talking about sex today.
You trying to put it in my mouth? What you trying to do?
Hey. I'm going to open this up with a question because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about sex and we're adults. So how long do you think oral sex should be performed for?
Well, dang, you jump right in for real, right?
Sheesh. Head
I'm
first.
between
Noelle, pull that up to your face, girl.
10
With
to...
the lips.
With that mouth. 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
I did not expect that.
When you at the barbershop with the dudes and we polled them.
So wait, no. Noelle said 10 to 20.
Yeah, I'm going to say 10 to 20 minutes.
Demecos.
If you're doing it right.
Hold up, what time is it right now? Let's do the time.
3:16.
Okay, continue.
That's a Bible verse, by the way.
John.
Wrong time. But I think you should perform oral sex.
Wait, no, whether giving or receiving.
Okay. Well, are we specifically saying
it shouldn't make a difference?
Either way, I think it should be until she or he comes for the first time.
Thanks, black man.
Oh no, because it's different for the man. You just want him to get erect, but for the woman, you want to do it until she comes.
No, I want him to come too.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah.
Tracie.
Bless your heart.
For me, it's until we get into the mood of penetration. I like Tracie's response.
Wait, so y'all not sucking it until he comes?
I like you. We're friends.
Wait a minute, I'm not done. Jason.
We just started the conversation.
Okay.
I was just gonna say to whatever the goal is, man, because head is usually like along the lines of foreplay.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if your goal is an orgasm form, do it till they get the orgasm. If the goal is just foreplay, do it until they're nice and ready. So I don't think there's a minute time to it. I might be into it 5, 10, 15. It don't matter. I just want to moan and feeling good.
Jason, don't you be over here doing this for the women now. Don't you be in here.
I'm serious. I don't think about time. I don't be like, you know what? 5 minutes is up, I'm ready to fuck. No. I'm like.
So when you're doing that on a woman, how long do you typically go?
At least 10 minutes. 10 minutes is just like when I'm ready to get into it. But at least 10 minutes.
And I'm not even going to ask Sheneka because we've already had this discussion.
Sheneka do it to the hair hurt. My hair hurt.
To your jaw is sore.
You look like a freak, girl.
Yeah. Sheneka, when was the last time you had somebody
Wait a minute, no.
Hold up. We not about to do this. We not about to do
The
this.
last time you had your legs
Not
shake.
on air. Not on air.
Sheneka
That mean
said,
he
I
out
have
there.
a brand to protect.
That mean
So
he
you all are the guests.
That mean he
Sheneka said
right
not
now.
on air.
So no answer from you? That's what you said?
Yeah,
You all are the guests. We're asking the question.
Oh, wow.
The reason that I asked that question is I have, I think people have a unrealistic expectation.
Yeah.
We brought this conversation up a couple of years ago, and the answers varied. However,
had a flashback.
have you done anything? If you had to read the dictionary for 10 minutes, would you say that's a long time?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is.
Hell yeah.
It's
Time check. What time is it right now?
3:16, 3:19.
It's been 3 minutes and Noelle is still performing oral sex. Go ahead.
Right.
Continue.
That's the point that we're bringing up. Right? So the point is to think that you're supposed to perform oral sex for 10 minutes. Okay? Do anything for 10 minutes and see what... Suck on a lollipop for 10 minutes and see what happens.
What the hell wrong with this lollipop?
See, I think it just depends because, like, for me and my man, I mean, I go for like an hour of just oral sex because I really enjoy seeing him get off. And so we may let him bust that first time, and then the second time it's all on me. So
Okay, so
That's a
let
long
me
time.
ask this
I'm not
question. Let
gonna
me
play.
ask this
I'm
question.
with
Tracie.
Do you
Yeah,
think
where you
we
at?
kind of
Where am
lose
I
sight of time, actual time, when you're in the moment? Like, have you set a stopwatch?
no,
Because I think
no.
during the process we lose track of time, and what may seem like a very long time is actually a very short period of time.
I've never set a stopwatch, but you know, your jaws start to ache.
Right.
But I'm with Tracie. I
Your jaws
basically
start to
get
ache.
off on giving head.
But-
I can get myself off on giving head.
Exactly.
But
So I'm not like, okay, it's been 10
No.
minutes.
But the question was, how long would you expect someone to perform oral sex on you? And I'm elaborating,
It's gonna
or
take
to
forever.
receive it.
It's gonna take.
I'm
forever.
not talking about other types of intimacy acts. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about
I just
switching
get
up.
turned
No,
on.
I'm just saying I get turned on giving and receiving. So either
Me
way,
too.
I need at least 10 to 20 minutes, whether I'm sucking it off or whether I'm getting head. I get turned on both ways.
Yeah.
I say for me, it's just if I'm going down on the woman, I'm going down to her leg shape. If she's going down on me, I just want her to do it till I get an erection.
What if she's not a shaker?
Okay, well she's
What if she's a crier?
Oh, that's a. I mean,
Has
that would scare me.
anybody been
But I
with a
gotta get
crier?
consent.
I've been with a crier before.
A male crier?
Yeah.
What? I want to hear about that experience.
Okay.
It was not cool.
Word.
And
Was
I'm
it a
okay with
whimpering or was it like
No,
a
he was full
bawling?
on crying.
Why was he? Why did he say?
Because
I
it was
think he was
just
just
so
emotional.
beautiful.
He
I
saw
think he was just
Jesus.
emotional.
He saw Jesus.
He's a water sign. He's just emotional.
First off, I'm a water sign.
He's a
too.
Scorpio,
Hold
not a Scorpio man. They're completely
Okay.
different. And I think he was just going through something, and it freaked me out. I was like, okay, I'm not even turned on now. So
I had a chick cry on me too.
How was
You-
that?
It was for me. It was similar to yours.
It was
man.
creepy.
Yeah, it was because she was like, I don't want, because she knew this was like a part of our breakup. Like this was just our last hurrah.
Wait a minute. She knew this? Who broke up with whom?
Probably him.
That's
First off, I don't like that judgment coming from me. But she's right. It was me. I was
So
breaking up with her.
did she know you were breaking up with her?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have gave you none.
Shit, you ain't never had it. Hey.
So you had already broke. You just
Oh,
tearing up my
God.
audio, tearing it up.
This is going
I'm gonna have to edit. I'm gonna have to try to edit that. I don't know what's gonna
I'm sorry.
happen.
But what was your question?
He fucking shit up over there. So you had already told her it's over with.
Yeah.
So how did you get into a situation where y'all started having sex?
Well, I mean, we had a serious relationship. We had a great relationship.
I don't care if the relationship was serious or not. You told old girl it's over with.
And how did you?
And then
convince
how
her to
did
fuck
you?
after
That's what
that?
I'm trying to figure out. How did
First off, most of like the
He
chicks
was
that we break up
consoling
with,
her.
yeah, most of the chicks that I break
What
up
is
with,
it?
we usually have that, let's still have sex, and it's just like, all right.
I can't deal with
So
you.
yeah, I told her like we're not gonna work out anymore,
That's
right?
true.
But
And
it
they
happened in
invite
this.
you over, 'cause they still
Oh, so
want the
this
companionship.
wasn't in the same interaction. Y'all broke up, and then maybe a day or two later, it was that.
Right.
Because I thought you told her it was over with, and then 5 minutes later,
Oh no, I
That's
wouldn't
where
do
I
that.
thought
That's
it
cold.
was.
No, that's
Really?
cold. No, it was a day after. It was a day after.
but isn't that Did you tell her that when you broke up,
Yeah,
that
that's
all
what's
you
weird.
wanted was?
How was that?
It is.
There is a half-life to sex. So, if
A
you've
day
been
ain't
with
long enough.
someone for a long time, I mean, I don't know what the formula is or math, but there is some math involved. So if you've been
And
with them
it's not
for 2
24 hours.
years, it's
Yeah.
probably 2 months of you breaking up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some formula there of half.
I agree
I
with
call it
that.
half-life.
I
Mhm.
agree with that. There's some lag.
The next
Mhm.
day
after they
though.
break off.
No, that's what I was saying. 24 hours is not long enough. I would never. A guy dumps me and then next day he wants something.
It ain't just me
I'm
though.
fucking your dad.
You're right. It's not you. You invited and she came. So
Yeah, like she
It's her as well.
she invited
initiated?
me over. Like
Oh.
it was like these things. Men, women sometimes poach us for sex too. You know,
No,
it ain't always us.
I kind of assumed that it was her invitation.
Oh, okay.
That is
So,
hilarious.
okay.
yeah, that's a killer move. That's
She
you
cried.
breaking
It
up with
freaked
me?
me
Oh,
out.
okay.
It made me feel like
So,
I was.
but do
felt
you-
Like I was like a,
No. But do you
Doing
realize that the crying was because she probably thought that after having sex with you, y'all were going to be back in a relationship?
she said that she gonna miss me.
You drunk that like that was coke.
First
Because
off.
he over here nervous.
Right, because you don't ask me any more pressure. But no, that was it was
Okay,
true. She
so that
asked
was
me,
her closure.
Yeah, she was like, she gonna miss me, and it was like, and it was. And I'm not claiming like I got the best dingo in the world. That's not true. I'm just saying I am a great person
Did
to
you
have
say
companion.
dingo?
Dingo,
Ding-a-ling.
Oh, okay.
I'm I'm a great companion. So it's the companionship that her and I was going to miss, but she just ended up crying, and that was, it made me console her, and it didn't turn me on. It made me like,
It was pity sex.
Yeah. Well, no, I ain't gonna say it. Just turned into pity. It turned into, dang man, I feel kind of wrong now. Continuing going forward.
Okay.
But you still fucked her.
It was pity sex.
This is true.
And y'all didn't get back together.
Nah.
Oh,
We
okay.
didn't. Yeah.
Moving on.
Real quick, time check.
It's 3:25. We've been talking for 9 minutes.
So Noelle is wrapping up right about now.
No.
Oh, she said at minimum.
She
minimum
right.
10
Yeah.
minutes.
She
Okay.
just getting started.
Right.
She said she just getting started.
Right.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Right. So I was gonna actually wait till 3:26 to be like, it's been 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
So guys, what do you think? What is your impression or thought of how women view sex?
Impression or thought of how women view sex.
Mhm.
Fun of it?
From what I'm hearing, a lot of women seem to be unsatisfied when it comes to sex. I hear a lot of women say they haven't reached their first orgasm, so they were like in their 30s.
87%.
Yeah, like
It's high.
I think it's one of those things that men are disconnected from, and we need to have a better dialogue about it with our women. That's what I think.
I agree with Enrique.
I think we do a lot of lying. I think we don't want to hurt your feelings, and we are not being fulfilled.
That's true. I agree.
I would have to agree. That's what I hear the consensus is. Because when you see these like internet interviews and stuff like this all the time, the women are saying, like, might check like, hey, when was the last time you had a good orgasm? And the dude's right next to him sitting like, last night.
Mhm.
And it's like,
wrong.
And it's like, I wonder what she would be saying if he wasn't standing right there.
Mhm.
Because when you see the women that are by themselves, they be like, oh, it's been 2 years. It's been 3 months. It's been 6 months.
And
It's been 10 months.
If you poll them and ask them how they got the last orgasm, a
They
man
did
wasn't
it.
involved.
Yeah, it's a clitoral simulation.
Or they were with a woman.
That's why I stick to oral sex. Oral sex is my specialty.
Cool.
And that's the problem.
But-
And I say that because I say that because I think a lot of going back to the time check. Going back to the time check.
Go ahead,
I
Sheneka.
think a lot of men spend more time engaging in oral sex
Yeah.
to compensate for their lack of ability to
Facts.
satisfy a woman through
Let's
vaginal
just
sex.
say insecurity.
Okay.
Let's not say lack of ability
Okay,
now.
lack
Hold on
of
now.
ability.
It could
or
it
even
could
the hang.
it could just be
She said
easy.
hang.
This is my experience.
hang
You're either
time,
really
yes.
good at one or you're good at the other. So
Well,
men are usually
hold
either
on.
really good at oral sex or they're really good
I agree.
with penetration.
They're rarely
They're not.
good
It's
at both.
it's like a unicorn experience to have.
It's like
both.
finding a man who's
She
a
said
good
a
husband
unicorn.
and a good father. Like they usually can't.
You're either one or the other.
Yeah. usually
Oh,
one or the
man.
other.
Tough crowd. God damn.
Yeah.
What you think about it, Enrique?
I would have to.
Donovan.
My bad.
I would have to say the exact same spectrum exists for men though, because a lot of women seem to think they have the bomb in their drawers, and
lot
of women
don't.
there's a lot of women that don't have good JJ.
That thing did not stay wet as you
what
think it
makes it
stays.
good for JJ? Is it because of the walls?
I'm glad you asked.
Because I was gonna
I'm
ask.
so glad you asked.
Women
All
have
right, so
walls?
first and foremost, let's talk about like
Tightness.
The tightness helps, but wetness more so than anything.
There you go.
And I hear a lot of, whenever I bring this up, a lot of them say, well, the man needs to get her wet first, blah, blah, blah. And I feel that. But at the end of the day, there has to be a level where you're taking accountability for your own body as well. You might be dehydrated. You might smoke a lot. You might not know nothing about taking care of your own body. And it might
I
not
just
be
want to laugh and I'm
No, but
agreeing
he's
because
true.
That's
That's
just
the
a
thing, bro.
mistake that I've never heard communicated.
Right.
So I agree with you.
And on top of that, my thing is, it can't all be on the man's experience.
Yeah.
Because I have to bring the long and hard. Well, you got to bring the soft and wet. I'm just saying. You got to have a balance. We got to have a balance.
And not to turn the conversation, but
I'm sorry.
I think also another thing that contributes to that, I'm going to say it and don't you say anything, Demecos, unresolved trauma. I think a lot of women have had a lot of assault, victimization, molestation, and they go through with a lot of sexual acts and they may not be fully comfortable with it or fully embrace.
I have
the
something.
experience.
How many people actually have a conversation with their sexual partner to tell them what they like and what they don't like before you have sex?
I can only think of one man that did that to me. And
What did we talk about?
Didn't see that coming.
So my question is why
Take the bottles off the table. No more drinks.
So my question is why are we not having?
I don't think men know.
No. My question is
more drink.
My question is why are we not having those conversations? Why are we not having those grown conversations? Because every sexual encounter should be an encounter to be enjoyed.
No, you don't need no more. Okay, you over here spilling secrets and shit.
So the question was, why aren't we having those conversations? Noelle, why aren't we not having the conversations with the men?
No,
to let them know
with
that
our sexual partners.
Well,
not with men.
You're right. Because I just made a judgment.
I'll say this: when I've been with women, that's never been an issue.
Shit in me. She just spilled some tea. Did you say? So Noelle, are we now? Are we bringing to light that you have been with women?
I have.
Okay.
Wow, Noelle's a champion.
Okay.
But I think the reason why we don't have that conversation with our sexual partners is because we're afraid of hurting people's feelings and egos. Like, just it's very simple, very basic. It's just I don't want you to feel like you won't be able to satisfy me. I don't want you to feel pressured or intimidated by my experience versus yours.
But why are we then having sex? Like, if we're not having sex to enjoy sex,
no, I was playing because we're horny. It's just
kind of true. But here it is from a woman's perspective. If we're not having orgasms on every occasion, then why are we not doing things to increase the odds where we're having these conversations with our partners to explain to them what we like and what we don't like?
I think we're worried about losing that partner. I think that's what it boils down to is whether it's a male partner or a female partner, you're worried about if I sell this person this, am I going to lose them?
Yeah.
That is an absolute fact.
I just think we need to encourage more people to have that conversation.
Absolutely. I agree.
Because
I'm willing to facilitate some of these conversations.
Men are afraid of telling women.
I'm
going to tell you I'm going to tell you the elephant in the room.
Let me just finish what I got to say real quick. I got 4 sisters, and I've heard of how they talk about dudes behind their back. And I was thinking to myself, I don't never want to be one of those dudes. So I make it a point to ask for my, performance report card, if you want to call it that, either before or after. We're going to have that conversation.
You should have the conversation before.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to lie like I've always done it before.
Right.
That'd be dishonest. But
and you should be...
The women here, like, how many of y'all have had a man say, well, what do you like in bed?
Me.
You have?
Yep.
No. I'm going to be honest.
Sheneka, Tracie? A couple. Yeah. I only had one, and I married him.
Okay.
You looking to remarry?
Oh my gosh.
Demecos, we're gonna stay on task. No, you went from the red to the white.
Yo, it's
so good. And
Oh
beer.
my gosh.
And beer.
I'm sorry.
And I think we should be having these conversations not directly before the acts. We need to be having these conversations when we're in a comfortable space, so that going in, hopefully each person, because you should be trying to strive to satisfy each other during the act.
Absolutely.
I think we just do a lot of lying, you know. So if he asks for the performance report card, like Jason said, we probably, oh yeah, it was great, knowing damn well it wasn't great.
And I think that's because,
and that might be a youth thing. You know, as you get older, you might be more comfortable to tell him the truth.
Even when you tell him this is what I like, if he puts all his effort in, still misses the mark, you kind of just want to give him a little encouragement, you know.
And that's okay, but what we should be doing is having the conversation, because a lot of people are walking away from sex unfulfilled because they're scared to tell someone you don't like having fingers put in your mouth.
Or in your butt.
As a woman, I know that 100% of the time, I'm going to be able to get off on a clitoral stimulation. I know my body. I know I can get off on the clitoral. Okay, when you come around with the G-spot stimulation, it's a hit or miss. It could happen. It may not happen. Most likely, it's not going to happen.
So, men, I guess I'm going to ask, how many different types of orgasms can a woman have?
I'm going to be honest with you and say, I don't know.
Good answer.
Great.
How many do you think?
I say 13.
Oh, wow. There's a woman for you. Well, there you go. I'm going to go with her answer.
I was going to say, to my knowledge, somewhere between 3 or 4. Because I've heard, there's the G-spot / squirting thing. There's the clitoral stimulation. And I knew a woman who's had orgasms from anal sex. And I know some women have orgasms from getting oral sex. So I would say about 4. I would say about 4 on minimum. That. To my knowledge.
To your knowledge.
5 vaginal.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so vaginal. So you're saying it's 2? Okay, I'm about to learn something today. So you're saying 2 between the G-spot and the vaginal.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
It's just a part.
Okay.
And I don't personally believe every woman has a G-spot.
Oh wow. Okay.
So what? I mean,
what
if they don't have a G-spot?
Swing the mic back in front of you.
What do they have?
Wait, no, hold.
I'm trying to learn something.
Yeah, me too.
I'm about to learn
so you said
today,
if they don't have a G-spot, what do they have?
Yeah.
Love you, brother. Mm-hmm. So you're saying that anytime a woman has a vaginal orgasm, it's coming from the G-spot?
I'm saying I don't know.
No. Again, this is not trying to say that I'm trying to target. Right. I'm just trying to understand.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying? That when you hear vaginal orgasm,
hit the G-spot, that she has an orgasm.
So when you hear a vaginal orgasm, the assumption is that it's because of the G-spot.
Yes.
I think
for me, that was my assumption.
Yeah.
And
I'm assuming I'm about to learn something.
But that's what I'm saying. We can have so many orgasms. I mean,
I've had orgasms before, and my G-spot wasn't a part of the equation at all.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I said there
treasure map, please.
13 of them, because
you know what I'm saying.
You have erogenous zones, and many women get off on just nipple stimulation. Women get off on just kissing around their neck.
Get off? Like
yes. I've gotten off just in dream stimulation. Like where I dreamed of a sexy if I'm ovulating.
But is that a vaginal orgasm?
I don't know.
It
gives me a full
It is. It's a vaginal orgasm.
Wow.
Like literally woke up and you're coming and there's no man around you.
Yeah.
I really want to learn more about this vaginal orgasm.
Or the aftershocks.
Please take
like
me to church.
2 days later.
Aftershock.
You at work. You
well, damn.
Yeah.
So Jason asked a very good ladies.
Yeah,
let's get it together. Jason asked a very good question. So we're talking about education. The men want to know the difference between a G-spot orgasm and a vaginal orgasm.
Okay.
Break it down.
And not even what it feels like, just from an anatomical
what a G-spot orgasm is. If you go midway between in the canal and you reach up like a come hither with your 2 fingers,
right.
come hither feeling with your 2 fingers, you will feel a walnut rough patch, and that is your G-spot. If you continuously hit that spot on the roof of someone's vagina, it's going to give you a G-spot orgasm.
That's where the G-spot is.
Okay, I do know about that.
Hold on, no, I ain't never felt no walnut in a woman.
Okay, okay, bro.
Have somebody spread their legs and feel for it.
Bro, you doing this? You probably do this one time.
Yeah.
But I never felt the.
Because you didn't know what you were
lever.
Right.
Come up and down.
No, it's not. It's not a lever.
It's not a lever, but it feels like that.
So if you're facing a woman and you stick your fingers up their vagina all the way up and you do this. Even if you don't feel it when you do this, go up a little bit more. You're then going to feel, it feels like walnut ribs. Okay. If you were to do this in the inside of a vagina, you're not going to feel any ribs. A sweep, right. But if you do this, but you have to stick.
They can't see you
because this is radio.
By the way, that looks like the ring on Doctor Strange when they used to create the different portal dimension.
So stick your fingers in. And do this.
Come hither. Wet fingers.
Pasha is doing a come hither motion with her.
And you will, and you may need to, like, if you
cut nails.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Oh, I bit my nails.
If you have a female companion, and I'm not even trying to say to do it when you guys are in the act. If you can have this dialogue with them, and you want to be like, hey, I want to know what your G-spot feel like. If they have one, I thought everybody had one.
I need a woman to teach me.
stick your fingers in, and if she knows where her G-spot is, she can show you where it is, and you can see what it feels like. Awesome. But from an anatomical standpoint, is it always that the penis will interact with the G-spot? No. So that's why there are G-spot orgasms based upon that area being stimulated. And then there are just vaginal orgasms that the walls of the... Yes.
The two things with the G-spot orgasm, I feel like most men don't get it because once they realize where it's at, they're doing this too much. Instead of
what is that
constant
movement? Yeah. This is right here.
It's a come hither, like come here, but it's not this.
Right. It's not the scratching.
Yes, that's one. Number two, I think a lot of women don't experience it because when you feel like you're coming from the G-spot orgasm, you feel like you gotta pee, so they clench up and they don't let it go. You're about to squirt.
So do you believe that every woman can squirt?
The majority of women can
Hell
squirt,
yes.
But it's because, like she said, they hold back because they think it's a pee thing. I agree.
See, Donovan, see.
I'm kind of wrong because I heard about that when, like, I've seen women run. I don't let them run. I be like, no, stay there, take it.
If she's drinking enough water,
I'll tell her to take it. Like,
there's nothing in there. No, it won't.
That is so
like,
interesting.
let me give you this experience. Like, just take it.
So
squirting is awesome, by the way. I love a squirter.
Explain to the listeners, for those who know.
The girl who cried was a squirter.
Demecos,
cállate. Stay focused. Cállate la boca, por favor.
Un momento.
Let me shut the fuck
up. You made me lose my train. Oh, where does the fluid from a squirt come from?
Now that I don't know.
I know. Okay, so we have glands. So this is not a urethra thing like pee. This is not a vaginal thing like discharge. Between the vaginal and the urethra are a set of glands, and that's where the squirt is coming from, and it's emptying out the contents of your bladder. So technically, it's diluted urine.
Holy
crap! I heard about that.
And it feels like
it's so warm.
But we've been taught since potty training when you have to pee, you hold it till you get to the toilet. So a lot of women can't release that in bed.
And I agree with that.
But when you do.
Does that feel good?
Yes. It's a great.
So how can women? My question is, how can women do that repetitively? Because I think of when men orgasm, we shoot that thing, we go.
I don't know if they can do it repetitively. I think that's porn.
Yeah. They can do it if they're in touch with their body and they know how to, like you said, when you get that pee sensation, to release and know that it's not
clench
pee.
up.
Yeah.
And know that it's not, you're not peeing in the bed.
That is an awesome feeling. I don't care if it is dirty.
It feels
peeing
really
in the bed?
good, though.
Hey, whatever it is, that thing feels great. It's amazing. Yo,
I ain't gonna lie.
The best.
I ain't gonna lie. My ego was satisfied, but I did feel like I got pee on the first time. But I was like, God, did she pee?
And
she's squirty. Yes. All right, cool. All right. I'll take it.
And I remember it was very embarrassing for me because I thought it was pee. But I knew it wasn't, but I was confused. And
it looked like
it feels like
waterfall.
It took a long time before I was able to be comfortable with knowing what it was.
And I don't know why people think it's pee. It's clear. It's odorless.
It
doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't ever smell like anything after
water.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, I wonder if I sip this a little bit without getting, nourishment.
It didn't smell like anything or anything. Yeah, so that's true.
Yeah, that's true, man.
It just feels like you're getting peed on.
That is a good point. It never has a lingering smell.
It's warm.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It feels amazing.
This dude. All right, so I didn't
time check. We've been talking for 30 minutes, so just in case
and that would be me.
And Tracie is still performing oral sex.
I'm telling you, it's
hold on, who do oral sex for like 30 minutes?
I do. I literally go for an hour.
I did that before. Okay, I give you that. I did that for like 2 hours.
Because
2-3 hours.
I enjoy getting him off in that way.
I was young,
and I know that the round 2 is going to be all about me. I don't even check to see if he's getting off on the round. It's all about me.
So I have a question, I guess, for the men. Is that something that's pleasurable after like 30 straight minutes?
Heck no. Because, your erection is only going to last but for so long. Like, it's still blood circulating to your penis from your brain. And it only lasts for so long. It's like when a man has sex, unless you're a porn star, it's hard for your penis to stay erect, like strongly erect throughout the whole duration of sex. It's like, no. It's like,
but I think he's prolonging the feeling because I know he could probably get off in like 5 minutes.
fact.
But if we're here an hour later and my jaw's hurting, so.
I don't need head for a while. Right?
No.
That's just me though.
Yeah.
If it's head for an hour, I'm not even really.
Bro, I'm taking a nap.
You know what I mean? Like,
Are you past it? Are you over it by then?
I'm either over it and then came and then got hard and then it came again. I'm just saying. I'm being honest.
Bro,
I don't need head for an hour. I don't.
Nah, I'll pass on
I'm gonna stop you somewhere between 15 and 20, and we gonna get into
Not even 15 minutes. I'm gonna stop you after like 3 minutes. Like if 3 minutes. Like I just need it just to get
erect.
erect.
After 3 minutes, she ain't doing her job.
Nah, I'm talking about
No.
He's
He's saying that he only needs it for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's just an aphrodisiac for me. It's not to get me off because really,
it's foreplay.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like foreplay.
Yeah,
It's the appetizer.
Yeah, and it's more than just sucking the shaft. You know, for me, it's a whole ritual.
I wish you all could see Tracie's face. Like she is glowing.
Really,
holding the mic like this.
I mean, it's balls involved as well. It's
Tracie, let go of the mic. Let go of the mic.
All in that whole area.
Let go of the mic.
I know, right? The way I'm holding the shaft of the mic is.
Let me ask y'all this question though, because this is a question that we had this conversation at the barbershop.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we had this conversation at the barbershop.
Are
It was an NFL player in there too. He sided with me, but a lot of men are often afraid to publicly admit that they like anal play with a woman.
Okay, so here's the thing about the anal play thing. I think a lot of men are into it, but the stigma attached to it is that I'm not supposed to enjoy this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you say.
I feel like a lot of men are really into that.
That's what I said.
And
that's where the male G spot is, at the anus.
It is. And you can actually milk a prostate through the... Okay, I've said too much. All right.
But hold on.
Go to someone else. Go to someone else.
No, go.
So if more men were open to that, they would have stronger orgasms.
Yeah. Well, I have a question.
And you don't.
I never had my prostate rubbed though.
You don't have to go through the anus.
Like
you can massage the taint.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's the word.
That feels amazing.
The perineum. You can.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Of a man and get them to milk.
It's like your body goes numb.
And it's like they completely empty the contents of their scrotum.
When I'm on the third night, when I've already come 2 times, that third time is impossible. Because the second time is already hard. The third time is impossible. But whenever she go, start playing with, tongue play, and she start going back
playing
there.
With that booty.
Yeah,
She start licking.
It's a booty hole.
I'm mad. I don't care. I look. When a girl start, I like to get my thing licked. So when she lick on me and start jacking me up at the same time, that third one, automatic. That thing is like automatic. Because otherwise, normal penetration, I'm not going to come if it's the third time. Second time, it rarely might happen, I might come. But that third one, I'm not coming through normal ejaculation and normal...
And can we even talk even deeper than that? There is a situation where some men...
Tracie is way too comfortable with
some
this whole conversation.
This is good. No, these conversations should be very normal.
Okay, some men even like a little stimulation back there as far as fingers in the butt. And even a little dildo action back there.
That's true.
So I have a
or it's a rabbit.
So my question is, so with that being said,
I'm not one of those.
I mean, I'm not above pegging.
No, listen. So my question
No, I like them. Give me a
high five, girl.
We're not going to overlook that. We're not going to overlook that.
So my question
this woman said she's not above pegging a motherfucker.
That means men like and being
that
paid.
Bisexual. It just means that if it feels really good. I'm a woman. He's a man.
Men should feel comfortable with that.
Us.
Yes. A woman told me this a long time ago. She said, how can it... Because she had licked me for the first time. I was like, yo, what you... Like, I was insecure about it. And she was like, I told her I feel like gay. She was like, how is it gay if you're with a woman?
Exactly.
I said, you know what? I laid my butt back. I made sure I kept my feet on the bed. I said,
my legs were above my head. My feet were above my head.
I laid back and said, hey, man, you got a hell of a point there.
I accepted it.
I have no defense
and
for
I was
that.
happy. I was fucking happy.
Well, I didn't put my feet up.
Shanika, bring humanity back to us, please.
No, let's go there. We're talking about sex.
No.
I lose all my man's strength if I lift my feet up. But Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Lift your feet up, fellas, if that's what you feel.
Push your booty up. Push your booty up.
If you,
so my question was, and I'll pose it to you, Tracie, since you
See, that's where I draw the line. Don't be putting your butt in my face.
So my question
I'm
is,
gonna put my ass in your face.
do you think a lot of women
I like looking a little
attach
booty.
a negative stigma to anally stimulating a man?
Yes, I do think there's a stigma attached for men and for women.
I am gonna
that
turn
they are
Demecos' mic off.
insecure with being able to have ass play. Yes.
Yes. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
I think, and especially being in the city that we're in, I think that some women may feel like if they were to, if they were to,
they're going to turn their man up.
Damn, can I?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sheneka.
But if they were to go there with their man, that essentially they're opening him up to be receptive to that from anybody.
Exactly.
And being in Atlanta, where we have a high population of homosexuals, that potentially she may be opening that up. So, what would you suggest to women or men, as far as that's concerned?
I say get over it. If he is bi, he's bi. If he's gay, he's gay. I was telling a friend of mine.
You have some great lips, by the way. I just want to tell you that. Amazing. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just muted Channel 5. That's the
Channel 5.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have an issue with my man coming to me and telling me he was bisexual. Gay, maybe, because that means you don't want me. So why are we together? But sexuality is fluid. So, if it opens up another portal, so be it. Maybe it's something he needs to explore and figure out if he even wants that.
And see, I feel the opposite. I feel like just because you have ass play doesn't mean that you're gay. It means that I'm with you. You're a woman. I'm a male. We're still having hetero sex.
Even if you have ass
everything
play
goes.
and he wants to go experience ass play with a man, it still doesn't mean he's gay.
I agree 1,000% with you.
Wait, say that one more time.
Even if he experiences ass play, him and I, and he says, you know what, I want to see what it feels like to do this with a man. It still doesn't mean he's gay.
I need you to define.
Okay, Jason's looking at me.
I
know you feel the opposite.
Jason,
that's the opposite for you.
Unmute my mic.
Anything.
I did unmute your mic. You're off.
I'm sorry. I got anything with the man or the same sex. You're into the same sex, and that's fine. Do you? But
even if it's like one time, like he just wants to see what it feels like.
Who taught you about sex, Jason?
I've never wanted to one time have sex with a dude. Personally,
Jason,
that's just me though.
Who taught
I'm
you
not
about
knocking
sex?
nobody. But
I know. Who taught you about sex?
Nobody.
Nobody taught him about sex. How'd you grow up?
Maybe porn taught me a little bit. But that's about it.
We're getting somewhere now. Porn. And I think a lot of men learned about sex through porn.
I was one of them too.
And I think porn misconstrued. Porn is like the worst way to learn about sex.
But your parents are not going to teach you.
I think my parents did.
You have great parents.
I think porn is going to desensitize a man. I think that he's going to have unrealistic ideas about how male and female relationships work, and so he's going to think that she's supposed to have these
within minutes.
Yeah, and have these,
over and over again.
Exactly, moan like a porn star, have these drunk sex gymnast acrobatics. It's just not realistic. No. So that's not how real sex works.
But to answer your question, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, you wouldn't do ass play.
But you're a little bit.
I don't think men are gay. I don't think men are gay neither. Who even do?
Okay.
First off, I just want to give credit to the ladies that are open to that sort of thing. I think it's awesome that we can do that because I have noticed that like a lot of women have that double standard. Like you can please me all day, but if a man wants something different, it's almost like oh, he's gay.
Right.
So I think that kind of sucks. And I think that's good that y'all are open minded like that.
That sexuality is fluid.
I agree.
I also think there's a double standard that women can be more bisexual than men.
Yeah.
Like if a woman is bisexual in her past, she just had a few encounters.
She's
but
not
a
gay.
man having bisexual encounters, he's definitely gay.
Y'all saw Insecure, right?
That is complete and total bullshit. I personally know men who have been with one man and never went back to men. Does that mean he's gay? He experimented.
Okay, I can see it that way. I see that. I see what you mean.
Like,
one time doesn't. Okay.
I just want to say
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Like
5 times?
I don't think. I think it's sexual
again.
again.
Was answering your question. And
we have
to answer your question for me is, and I would not mind. I don't care if my partner. I'm all about honesty. When me and my ex-husband were married, we had 2 threesomes. both times were because he came to me and said, "Babe, that chick you work with, she could get it." So she got it twice. So nice. I'm all about honesty. So if he comes to me and says,
doing with my life?
I'm kind of, wondering how it be.
Fellas, this is why I say marriage is the key, bro.
I might not participate, but I'm not going to be like, no, you can't do that.
So you said you may not participate?
No, and I think that's more aesthetic thing. Aesthetically, it doesn't turn me on to see a man with a man.
Gotcha.
But that's still my husband, and he was honest with me, and I'm gonna still be here. I'm gonna make y'all sandwiches. Just don't do the shit with me. So that's just me, though.
Amazing.
You're really open-minded. I don't think I can go there with my man getting with another man. But if we want to have a threesome with a woman,
I was lost when she said I'm still making y'all sandwiches.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that.
So you could have
the nature of my relationship with him won't change. It probably will change. But it's not going to be a thing where I shame him.
Yes.
It's not going to be, oh my God, I'm not doing that. If first of all, if I even agree to marry you.
Facts.
I'm a commitment fucker. So
D'Amico, you gotta go in time out
in the corner
again.
I haven't had my turn.
Okay. D'Amico, what are you gonna say
like
after Noelle?
Especially black women. We're shamed enough for basic sexuality. I'm not gonna turn around and do that to black men too.
So if there are women out there like Tracie and Noelle and the threesomes and make sandwiches, call me at 240.
I think what's so pivotal.
She's a little further out than that.
Mama, I love you.
Noelle's a little further out than that.
What's so pivotal about what
No,
Noelle?
because you're pegging. I'm not pegging.
I'm not pegging, but I'm also not allowing him to have
a man. Let's
the
give
thing that's so pivotal about what they're both saying is the thing where a lot of married men and married women come to me for is which is the key to divorce and relationship separation, which is human beings who have a fear of feeling inadequate with their partner, whether that be in the area of finances or whether that be in the realm of sexuality. In Esther Perel's book, Mating in Wild Captivity, she talks about how men specifically they cheat on their wives because they value their marriage. And the reason they value their marriage is because they go outside to the outside woman to get the things they would dare not ask their wives for, because their wives would think of them differently than who they are if they were to ask for those things. And the same for women. She found the same account for women. They would go outside in their marriage to get what they want that they dare not ask their partner for. And it all tied to their partner feeling inadequate about coming to their partner with a certain desire, because at the end of the day, it's all desirability.
Not inadequate,
that they have.
Insecure.
You don't want to feel, insecure, inadequate, semantics, right? About you don't want to look less than for coming to your wife saying, hey, I want to try this anal play, or hey, I want to penetrate man, or hey, I want you to penetrate me.
Or hey, that girl,
so when you tell your man, and a lot of women and men, they set so many boundaries on their marriage that it's constraining their marriage, and it's going to cause their partner to seek outside the marriage, or it's going to cause their marriage to end because their partner, again, at the end of the day, if you've had a conversation with your partner where you just said that, I'm not going to, Noelle, you just said that I'm not going to peg you. Now, had you said I'm not going to peg you because I think men who get pegged are soft or sensitive or gay, that man who feels that, now you didn't say that, which I give you credit for, which is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Because a man, your husband would then be likely to come to you with that conversation, even knowing that you won't do it. Yeah. But at least he knows you don't think less of him because it's something he wants to try.
Right.
But unfortunately, most women and most men, they think less of their partner because there's certain desirabilities that they want, that they feel that their partner will look down upon.
I mean, there are a lot of sexual hang-ups in the black community. So that's
white too. Whites come to me too.
We ain't talking about them. We're talking about us. We're talking about Negroes, melanins.
There's Mexicans and Caribbeans and
melanins.
I'm talking about black people.
I think if it's just me and you and we're in a relationship, it's all open. Like whatever you want to do and whatever I want to do, we're doing it within the confines of the relationship. If we want to swing, if we want to do poly, if we want to, invite an extra person, if we want to pay, whatever is, as long as you're not asking me to do something that is sick, like be with children or animals or
but
something
there are
like
people
that.
who like that though.
So
you know,
I have
whatever
a
it is
question.
that you
Well,
wanna
not
do,
even a
I'm
question, but a
open-minded.
comment.
As long as there's honesty involved. That's
And as
the
long
There
as
you
there's
go. That
rules
should be
around
the
that
key.
to say, hey, we're
Shanika,
still in a relationship.
But also, I don't think the conversation, going back to what you were saying earlier, Pasha, is the conversation is happening beforehand.
Facts.
So
Facts.
I don't want to be in a relationship with you and you know how I feel about certain acts and you are suppressing or not sharing or not communicating to me that you like all this stuff knowing that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get married, now you want to ease this in. Have a conversation beforehand. And I just think the communication is not happening.
When I first got with
and
my,
then you want to go
right.
cheat and you want to go outside the
right.
relationship to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
Don't
Which,
even
by
bring
the way,
people.
is
Don't
not
even
a
bring people
justification for
into
cheating.
your.
It is not. It is
Right.
not.
Right.
There is never.
Well, I don't buy what you said anyway about that.
I don't buy
cheating.
that
I think,
either.
That's
listen,
what they do.
Based
That's a
on
fact.
what,
Let's
based,
listen
Right,
real.
based
but
on
what
that,
we're saying is that's not a justification for cheating.
No.
Just my wife won't let me have a
She didn't
threesome,
say
so I'm gonna cheat on her.
that it was okay or that it wasn't okay. She was simply explaining of why people cheat.
well,
And I'm
I think
explaining
that may,
before
I think
that.
that may
They're
be,
selfish.
yeah,
That's
I think, no,
not true.
Demecos, I think that
Amen.
may be a reason for a certain segment of people, but there are people out there who are also opportunists. The opportunity presented itself, so they took it.
You cannot put people
I've
in
had
a
men
box.
cheat on
That's
me
what you're
after I
doing. That's
told
what you're
them.
doing.
That's exactly what
Based
I'm
on
doing.
that book, you're saying that this person said this is why they cheat in this box. What I'm
No,
saying is
that's not a box. Not
there's-
create. I just simply said that a human being. This is a human problem. A human being doesn't want to confront with. They don't want to come to another human being who they love, who they trust, who looks up to them. And,
oh my God, here she goes. Go ahead. You.
Oh, okay. A human being doesn't want to go to another. A human being doesn't want to come to another human being about something that they know that human being discussed. That's simply what it is.
So,
But that's
based
still
on
not
what you said, wouldn't they
justification for
already
cheating.
know that they?
No, they don't. That's the problem. That is
because
the
there's
problem.
no communication.
Human being. Let me ask you this: your parents have been. Anybody here parents been married?
My parents are married.
No.
Did your parents? For those who parents have been married, did they take any parental training on being married prior to getting married?
No, they did not.
Okay, did their parents take any marital training
No.
prior? Okay, none of them take marital training on being married. Yet all of them got married. Because that was just the thing, that was part of their tradition. It was the normal behavior. Nobody ever sat there and taught them, okay, this is how you should communicate. These are the things that you shouldn't outlaw in your marriage as far as having conversations around, etc. Yet all of us, we all come into our relationship saying, this is what I'm with, this is what I'm not with. And the problem is, the things that you aren't with, you say, you demonize, you vilify, you say that's wrong, you say that's evil. That person that you're with, they might fit in that you're not with category. And so therefore they won't come to you with those issues. So all I'm simply saying, and all Esther Perel's book points out, is that we should be open to at least having the conversation around these things so that our spouses don't have the feeling that they need to go outside because our partner isn't going to tolerate it.
And I agree, have the conversation, but not while I'm your spouse. Have the conversation before we get to the point of marriage.
But on top of that, if we've gotten married and there's an understanding that it's you and me, it's monogamy, it's commitment, it's you're not cheating and I'm not cheating, I don't give a fuck if I won't suck your dick. That's not justification for you cheating. If you want to cheat, if you want to go outside and get your dick sucked, leave me alone. Go get your dick sucked every day.
Exactly.
There is never a justification for cheating. Not ever.
It's not, but it also should not be a justification for not having these conversations up front.
And
Which most,
I think we agree on that. We're just not agreeing on.
But the reality is, most married couples, even people in relationships, are not having these conversations. Most of us do not take any marital or relationship training at all.
Okay,
we're agreeing. We agree on that part.
Okay,
we're just not agreeing on the dishonesty.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. Yeah, dishonesty is not cool. It's not cool.
Okay, so day one of me dating the guy that I'm dating right now, we got together because we had the conversation. He's actually dating a girl that we met when it was...
Yeah, when they met, he had a girl.
He had a girl. And I was talking to him and his girl.
Tracy put that thing on.
Shut up.
She hit that squirt button on
But we were having the conversation
the
about being in situations where people, parties where people were getting naked. in front of us.
Why wasn't I in?
And so
why wasn't I?
We had that conversation, and then like 3 hours later, we're still having that conversation. This girl, she faded out of the conversation. I don't know what's going on with her, but everybody who was around us having the conversation, we all, we bonded on what do we like, what do we not like, sexually. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to have that conversation up front. I knew day one exactly what he liked and what he had experienced. He knew what I had been into and what I experienced. And, it went from there. He felt very comfortable. And even to this day, even though we are monogamous, if he came up to me and said, hey, I'm feeling a certain way, or if I came to him and said, hey, I'm feeling a certain way about so-and-so, we would create parameters and rules around that.
Wow. So, guys, are there any misconceptions or maybe some answers or questions that you would like to have answered by the ladies in regards to sex?
Yes. I want to go right back to the vaginal orgasm thing. We're talking about the G-spot orgasm. Mm-hmm. The vaginal, I just want to know.
I have a different question, by the way.
I want to know about that. I had an experience that was kind of interesting. I was kind of sort of accidentally having unprotected sex with this one lady. At one point in time.
What?
I mean, it just happened. It was a slippery rug. Put the rubber on. It was a slippery rug, and I just fell and landed on top, and I didn't have time to put the condom on before I fell. So that's what happened. It's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Right. That's your story.
And I felt something kind of interesting, like I was inside her, and like the head of my penis was
your dick.
It felt like best way I can describe it felt like she gave it a kiss inside there or something. It got real warm and real wet. I'm like, damn, what the hell is that? I never felt that before.
You sure that wasn't her period?
Damn. Wait a minute. Buzz killer.
I don't think she was on her period.
Okay.
But now what you just said totally put a whole different feeling. And I have no more questions. So let's
I'm sorry.
I have a question.
Let's just keep So you're saying she might have actually came on her period while I was having sex with her? That's what that was?
Was it a gut?
Oh, that's possible. I definitely.
I don't know what it was. It just felt good.
Or it could have been a vaginal rupture.
It could
have been. I don't think
a vaginal rupture.
It could have been discharge.
She could so many things going on.
She could have been turned on. Listen, the vagina is very emotional. She could have been turned on.
Good way to say that.
It could have been a rupture. It could have been her coming on her period. It could have been her. It could have been a myriad of things.
Was she on?
No way for us to answer.
Was she on any type of I'm gonna say contraceptives that was inserted into her vagina?
Turned down. Not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right.
I thought about that too, Pasha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't know what happened. I just know it felt good. She enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. I was just curious.
Maybe y'all experienced something together.
Yeah, that sounds like some very
Well, I do know that when you start coming, you do have a spasming effect that happens in there, and so that kiss that you're talking about might have been the spasming that
you
happened.
might have called the early part.
The early part.
And depending on how deep you were.
Yeah, as well.
If you're deep, you're gonna feel it.
What's her name?
Yeah. Demecos, what's your question?
My question is, I want y'all to be honest with me. Do you all know? I need to have on the gate. Do you all know?
Keep talking.
Okay. Do you all know when you meet a guy if you're going to give him the cookie or not?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
And what does that look like?
And oftentimes you all keep talking and everything drops.
This is true.
And
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I'd say within 5 minutes, of meeting a guy, it's somebody that I would sleep with.
I'm gonna play idiot.
But then when they start talking and you start knowing the depth and character of them, you turn.
You also know whether or not you would give it to him again. Mm-hmm. So
within the first 5 minutes of talking.
No. I mean, if y'all go there.
Attraction, absolutely. Yeah. So Demecos, write that in your notebook. Women know in the first 5. I think in the first 5. I think when you see someone, you maybe can be talked into certain situations.
Yeah.
But if it's a definitive, when you see him, it is, I'll smash. Yeah. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have to be stupid?
Except for that, I've met men before where initially I was like, no, you ain't never gonna get it.
Yeah.
And then,
yep.
You got it.
Yeah.
I have a kid.
Oh, so it can change?
Oh, wow.
It can.
That goes back to being mentally stimulated. So if a woman looks at you and she's physically attracted to you,
you get that.
She's gonna engage you, hoping for that the
Is there a
complete
sign we should
package
look for?
for that.
No. I don't even think it's always the complete package.
Well,
like
that the mental would at least line up with the physical, but
I don't
oftentimes
think so. I think you can
when
be
you
physically
talk-
attracted to somebody and you'll smash and that'll just be it.
No. I'm talking about to the point where you want to, but they start talking and you withdraw.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like, I'm still
oftentimes,
physically
yeah.
attracted to you, but you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can't.
Yeah.
So talking yourself out of the draw.
Talking yourself out.
Oh
And but it also
my
work
God,
on the flip
yes.
side, and I think that's what you're talking
So what's the
about,
best
Noelle,
bet? Not to say
where
nothing?
you're saying that I
Okay.
think you need to be cognizant.
Of what's going on.
what's
No,
going on.
don't say anything. You need to say something.
I just want.
But I feel like men don't pay attention.
They don't.
If
Oh,
you're talking to
that was
her
me.
and she's
Yeah.
or this.
This is radio. We don't know what that looks like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crossing your arms. If she's got the puzzled look, the what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Shut up.
Man,
I do have one more
That's
question.
some good
If your
advice.
goal is to get in,
That's some good advice.
shut up.
I
Order
do have-
another drink.
My shut up
Yes,
game
sir.
about to be
I do have one more question
A1.
for the ladies, and I'm hoping you
And
can do
it
a.
is. It
I
is
want to do a
obvious
round
right
table.
now.
I want to hear from all of the ladies, like all of y'all. Like when it comes to foreplay, because I hear this is the number one complaint when it comes to men and sex.
You can open
Like
it.
foreplay is always either too fast or it's not the right timing. So, what is everybody's individual definition of foreplay, and how long should it be for y'all?
Pasha,
Yeah, let's start with the host. Go ahead, Pasha.
your name is on the marquee.
So I think foreplay, and this may sound very corny, but I do think that foreplay starts before the bedroom.
Okay.
So it depends. I think foreplay can vary depending on what type of experience you're trying to have. For me and I'm telling business. So as far foreplay does not need to last a long time for me.
Okay, so define what that looks like on a physical level.
On a physical level.
Be as descriptive as possible. Why not?
It's lubricated.
Yeah, are we licking the clitoris? Because I've had
I might take notes. Why not?
I've been contemplating.
It's
on
my
It's your
turn.
turn,
It's my
Demecos.
turn. He asked me a question.
This for the ladies, bro. Chill.
Thank you.
They got this.
So for me, oral sex
There you go.
only needs to last 2-3 minutes.
Wow.
Okay.
So I'm at, oral sex is it's a foreplay mechanism for me.
Mhm.
I'm not big on the the clitoris. No. I'm not big on coming from oral sex.
Okay.
I would prefer the pipe.
Alright.
And for me, that should be more of the act than oral sex.
Okay, so
It's
just
different for each woman, though. Some women
So
prefer
basically-
oral.
okay, so basically he don't even have to kiss, don't play with nipples or nothing, just go down on you and then give you the pipe. That's what you're saying.
It depends on what kind of day we're having.
Okay, I got
Which
you.
is why a conversation before the sex is so
Right.
important. Because
I agree.
I'm completely the opposite.
Okay, go ahead, Noelle. What about you?
I need mental foreplay. If we're going to have sex on Friday, I need you to start working on that Sunday. I need conversation. I need compliments. I need deep conversation. I need some debates, some arguments. I need all of that up until we fuck.
Shanika, what's my
So
love
by the time
language?
I see you, I'm like,
What's
Okay.
the one that says just acts of
Service.
sapiosexual?
No.
money?
Yeah.
Gifts.
Yeah,
That's
gifts.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I don't really need
So-
gifts to fuck.
So after that,
No.
after
What I'm
everything leading
I
up
don't
to it,
need
because
days
I
of
firmly
talking
believe
about it.
that he
pay a
can
bill, coins.
do all those things
Oh, we
correctly,
can pay
right?
bills and
But
that
when
can
he's
get
in
you
front
up.
of you physically, he might screw something up. So physically, what do
Right.
you need as well?
Right. But what I'm saying is because I'm a sapiosexual, if he's gotten all that stuff before we get to the physical part, I'm probably going to come anyway. So
Okay.
there's some room to give in the physical aspect.
Okay.
But physically, I like my neck is really sensitive.
All right.
I love head, but I like giving head too. I can get off on giving and
Bless your
receiving.
heart.
Shut up. And I like deepness, and I like it a little rough. Like I want you to choke me. I want to choke you.
Hold on
Alright.
now. Hold on.
You know,
Whoa,
I
that's
wanna make
where
you my
charges
bitch.
get pressed.
Go ahead, let us talk. Go
I
ahead.
want to, make you my bitch.
Make the man.
Nice.
Make the man.
Oh yeah, I like, I want it to be, not every time. I'm just saying, like, switch it up a little bit. I don't want it always to be
You like the element of surprise a little
romance novel sex.
Yeah.
I don't want that all the time.
So sometimes spontaneous, switching it up is a good thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
Sheneka?
What about you?
So I'm gonna be a little. I'm gonna talk a bit in circles, just because I have a brand to protect.
Gotcha.
But I do agree with both of you in that the foreplay starts well before we get into the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also with you. My neck is highly sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Highly
Bite
sensitive.
It.
If you breathe,
Vampire Diaries.
like it's.
When I was in high school, I would get off on getting hickeys.
Wow.
Like just
Yeah.
This is something I never knew, yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that comes with learning your partner
Mhm.
and what turns them on, and how they respond
and
to
don't
you,
just
whatever.
chomp. Like build up to the
Yeah.
chomp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, my man.
Wow.
Strong shake.
And I'm also with Pasha.
I'm kind of strong,
all
though.
of the oral. And I think also going, and this is my belief.
Are you
So my belief is, and I could be completely wrong, but it's my belief.
Mm-hmm.
All that's not necessary. And I prefer the vaginal penetration. And I think a lot of women who cannot be stimulated vaginally prefer that all that extra oral, because that's the only climax they're getting. They're not getting it through vaginal penetration. So they like all that oral. I think if you're able to achieve an orgasm vaginally, then you may be less likely to want to spend 15, 20 minutes with you down there licking on me. What you licking on me for 20 minutes? Come on.
Yeah,
you know?
you're right. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. It's a lot easier for me to come off head than dick.
Yeah, one of my
Wow.
exes, she used to only come off of oral sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like nothing that I could.
Or just double stimulation. Like if it's dick, like your hands need to be doing something. When you're kissing,
Yeah.
like, I can't just come straight off of dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tracie?
And the
What's
vast
up with that?
majority of women
It's
cannot.
just the way I'm built.
The vast
A lot of
majority
women are built.
Tracie?
Go on, Trace. Can't wait to hear this answer.
Tracie,
And then my
like,
uterus is tilted too.
yo, who? You tilted?
My thing is tilted, so you have to go further to.
So I can't just do.
Can Tracie give her thing?
For me, I'm very domineering in bed, and so for me, I would prefer a man who was more domineering in bed, because I feel like the people that I encounter really want me to just take charge, and I get a lot of that mistress thing that they are seeking, but I don't get off. I get off on giving head, of course, and pegging or whatever, but I really prefer someone who just takes control and takes charge. So for me, I love long kissing sessions. The neck is great. The breasts are great. Spend some time doing that. And then a little oral. It doesn't have to be a long oral session. It can be 5-10 minutes with the oral session. But yes, I do prefer a lot of penetration, and I like to be curled up in a ball. If you're going to screw me,
oh, fuck the shit out of me.
Take complete control of me. Because the minute that you give me control, I'm going to take all control from you.
And before we continue, because you mentioned pegging several times, can you define what pegging is? Because I don't think everybody knows.
And it's basically when you're wearing a strap on with a man, and you decide to enter his anal cavity.
So have you done pegging before?
I have. I have.
Was it enjoyable?
It was enjoyable for both partners. Yes.
Yeah, some men.
Do you have one strap on for each partner, or do you use the same one?
This was just within the exclusive confines of my marriage.
I think
that's the only time that I did pegging.
I think you can
I've not met anyone else who would
Jason, you alright?
do that.
Or wear a condom with it.
Jason, with his eyes closed.
I'm just.
That's not what you were looking for.
But that's not even something that I really
paid
want to do. Yes, I enjoyed it, watching him get off, but that's not something that I want to do moving forward. I want to be dominated.
I have a friend of mine. Can we talk about something else too? I have a friend of mine that she has this fascination with being with a man who enjoys having sex with transsexuals. right?
That's out of my comfort zone.
And the thing is,
I like how you said that, Tracy. That's out
I
of my
don't think that I don't think that men are gay.
Trans men or trans women?
Trans women. I don't think that men are gay for messing with trans women because it's them still being with the likeliness of a woman figure. It just has the extra attachment, whatever, or something. Because some don't have the attachment. But can we touch on that? Women who like being with men who like being with trans women, or men who themselves enjoy being with trans women. Can we create a conversation around that?
See, that's confusing for me because I feel like a man is attracted to a woman, but then there's this big ass dick that this man has, and you're fucking them in the ass. So I don't believe in the boy pussy thing.
Demecos, can you repeat what your question was? Because I don't think everybody heard you.
My question was that I want us to have create a dialogue around women who like that their men are with trans women. Because I have a friend who that's one of her fantasies. She wants a guy who she can watch bang out other trans women.
That's very specific.
And what do you think about men who bang out trans women and also deal with, heterosexual women at the same time?
I'm with Tracy. That's outside my comfort level.
That's outside of my comfort zone.
I don't think that is gay though. Like as a male,
men who deal with trans women. Is that what your question is?
He's putting the microphone back ever so gently.
Puts his mic back in the place.
As long as my partner is not dealing with a child or an animal, or they're breaking up a marriage or a relationship, I don't care who they're with. If they're being safe, I don't care. If they're being honest, I don't care.
Bless your heart, child. Bless your heart.
Listen, we have enough sexual hang-ups in the Black community. And it's killing people. Like let's be honest, it's killing people.
Let me ask you this: do you think we place too much emphasis on sex in the confines of relationship building and marriages? So looking at the
hell no. This podcast is about sex. You are asking a book question.
I'm sorry, this is the ignorant.
No, this is not an ignorant podcast. But we are talking about you. What is your question? Do you think we place too much emphasis? We're talking about sex. What do you mean? We place too much emphasis on sex.
So, in the confines of relationship building and marriage, that's the question.
I don't think we place enough sex. I don't think we have enough conversations in the developmental stage of relationships. I don't think we talk about. We don't have the right sexual questions or the right topics about sex.
So that's what I'm alluding to.
Are we doing it too much, or are we hypersexualized by it? Yes. But are we having the right conversations about it? Absolutely not.
So that's exactly what I was alluding to.
So you don't think we're not having the right conversation about sex?
No, I don't.
I agree with you on that. Okay.
No.
So that's why I asked the question about the trans, because I think a lot of men, and I think I talked to one of my mentors about this, I think we are moving towards a society where it's going to become more normal over the years for heterosexual men, as it has become for heterosexual women, to mess with trans women. Yeah. And I think that's going to become, because studs are...
And at some point, we're going to have an honest conversation about why people have a problem with that.
Fact. I agree.
At the root, why do you have a problem with men having sex with trans women or women having sex with trans men?
I think it's because you're worried about...
Let's get really honest.
Mm-hmm. You're worried about them having something that you don't have. So a trans woman has a penis. So I don't have a penis.
Right. So
I can't give him that.
Yes.
Right. So that has no bearing on this person. That is all internal shit. Work through that shit. Work it out. If that's the issue, that it's, I feel inadequate. Work through that shit. Right. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of people, it's not that. It's stereotypes. It's phobia. It's, I heard bisexual men have STDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Meanwhile, Black women.
Fact.
Right now,
rampant
have
among
the highest.
Studs.
Right.
Well, wait a minute now. One in 30 women will have an AIDS encounter in their lifetime. But when we talk about gay men in Atlanta specifically, we're talking about 50% of men with an STD.
Right, but gay men don't. Gay men don't sleep with women. I'm talking about. But I've heard women say, "Oh, I don't want to date a bisexual man because he's going to give me STD." Hell, for Andre that you fucking, it's fucking you, Keisha, Nay, Yolanda, Tasha, Pasha, Sheneka, Tracie, and Noelle. You need to be worried about me. You need to be worried about him, not this bisexual dude. And the stats prove that. So behind that is stereotypes and phobia, transphobia. Homophobic, whatever you want to call it. So at some point, we have to do away with that shit.
All right, so ladies, are there any questions that you want to ask the men?
Yes. I want to know. How come men have an issue with cuddling and after sex? Like, what is up with that? Like, I feel like it's just so... it's so... I got mine, and now I'm going to turn around and... lay with some, lay away from you.
Rape culture.
Wow. Really?
So let me.
Can the man speak? There was a man question.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, Jason.
Let me
before you blurting out your damn rape culture out the corner. Rape culture.
My notes in the meantime.
Get ready, Sheneka. Get ready.
I gotta be honest. I can't relate to that because I thought cuddling was kind of normal.
Okay.
I hear a lot of women say that, like, dudes don't want to cuddle. I'm like, I never understood it. I can't relate.
I've literally had men tell me, "Oh, I don't want to cuddle because you're going to catch feelings."
You know what? I've heard that theory before. That would be my best answer. That some dudes are worried about making it seem like more than what it is. I guess maybe in their minds they like, look, I got mine, you got yours. Let's just keep it like that.
But should you want to cuddle with a dude who you just smashing with? Like, I think where we're blurring the lines and we're not recognizing what the game is.
What more do you want from me?
Like, if you're just smashing a dude. If you meet a dude and you're just smashing, don't expect the kissing, don't expect the sucking on the neck, don't expect for nothing.
But Pasha, what if that's what she needs to get off?
Did you tell him that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they didn't.
This is what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this: if she needs all that to get turned on or to make the sex better for her, what's wrong with providing that? I had a fuck buddy for 7 years.
Oh, Jesus.
The reason why we were able to keep fucking and there was no emotions or anything attached because he didn't treat me like a fuck buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't come over, bend me over, and fuck me.
Absolutely.
He came over.
Okay.
Sometimes we wouldn't even have sex. Sometimes he just came over. We cooked, watched a movie.
Then I don't think y'all were fuck buddies.
And that's all emotion. You can't say there was no emotion involved.
I don't think
so. No. Hold up.
No emotion means that I don't care about how you feel.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
You're not going to tell me about my experience with somebody for 7 years.
Right.
It was not a relationship.
Okay.
Half the time, he was living with his ex-girlfriend. It was strictly fucking.
It's not strictly fucking.
It is. I'm fucking telling you, it was strictly fucking.
Okay,
like,
right.
I would know. Nobody was at the table knows but me.
Apologize.
It was strictly fucking.
I agree with you, Noelle.
You met him.
I apologize, Noelle. You're right.
Tracie met him.
Oh, God.
He came to Atlanta. My friend Jean-François.
Oh, wow.
What did he tell you about our relationship?
Right?
It was actually
blur his name out, please.
It was caring and fucking. That was it.
It was caring? Is that not an emotion?
Pause. Hold on. Time out.
Did he ever tell you? And this is my problem with a lot of men.
Okay.
If I'm telling you it's A, fucking believe it's A.
She just said it was B.
No.
She said there was caring.
She said
Thank you. It's just like you said earlier about the last show we had. There's levels to everything, right?
Yes.
Right.
So why can't there be levels to having a fuck?
Thank you.
There is, bro. But she just.
If I'm telling you that it was strictly fucking, it was strictly fucking.
Yeah, I agree with it because I had
7 years.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I was a maintenance man for a while with this one woman for almost as long as about 7 years.
And all I'm saying
and
is,
I never treated her bad. It was just sometimes we go out to eat, sometimes we would, sometimes we cuddled, sometimes we didn't. It was whatever.
What made our sex better was he did not just treat me like I was a hole that he was jacking off in.
Right.
We kissed, we hugged. Sometimes he came over. All we did was eat and watch a movie.
Yeah.
It was not just fucking. Some women need
It was
that. Some
friendship.
don't.
And
it was what?
Yeah.
Tracie, what did you say?
It was friendship and
Friendship
That
and-
so
yes.
so let's
friends with benefits.
right. So
Right.
you were
But to me,
friends.
that's not a relationship.
No, it is a relationship because it ends in ship. We have
But
all
what
we
I
have
mean
all.
is-
No,
you're right.
it wasn't a.
A commitment.
Thank you.
Right. We
Thank
were
you.
not monogamous.
Gotcha.
We did it for 7 years.
Mhm.
And honestly, he was 10 years older than me.
Mhm.
He is the one that explained to me.
Tracie
If the
is
dude
strong.
is fucking you, the least he can
I've
do
never
is
seen
make
him.
you feel
You're-
like in that moment.
You're
number
absolutely
one.
right.
I agree with
You're
that.
absolutely
And where
right.
a lot of men get
Agree.
it wrong is,
You're absolutely right.
oh, you ain't my girl.
You're
I ain't got to do that shit
You're right.
for you.
You're right.
And that's why I'm not fucking you.
I
You're
agree
right.
with that.
I'll agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Some women are
I'll
okay
agree.
with, and that's it.
I'll
Some
agree.
women do not want that. I do not want that. You treat me like you're just fucking me, I'm not fucking you anymore.
And I get it.
Yeah.
I think between when the interaction has happened, there has to be a level of not only respect, but the common goal is to ensure that everybody's having a good time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when
Yeah.
somebody's not feeling like they're not having a good time, it's no longer fun anymore.
Mhm.
Let's not do it. So I do
Agreed.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
and it's not about catching feelings. It's not about me wanting a relationship. It's not about any of that. The fact of the matter is, I don't want to feel like an object
Yes.
when I'm dealing with you.
Yes.
And if I do, I can go deal with 10 other niggas.
You're absolutely right.
You know, I'm choosing
Right.
you because you make me feel like in this moment I am not just a fucking object.
Right,
And we feel like that enough as black women.
right. So
Mm.
I handed
Okay.
out a female condom. Has everybody at the table
That's-
seen a
Kinda makes me wish I
female?
had-
Has everybody at the table seen a female condom before?
Hell
This is
no.
my
No,
first
my
time
first
seeing
time.
one.
This is
This is
our
my
first
Okay.
It
first
look like a
time.
baby
Did you
song.
want to touch it, Jason?
Okay.
Showing that.
Yeah,
I'll
touch it.
it to you.
Touch my condom, Jason.
That's one of the reasons why I busted out. I wanted everybody to touch it. I wanted everybody
I've
to
never seen
feel
that in
it.
my life.
It feels just like a
It's
regular
never
condom.
seen.
It
No.
feels
It's just a
Is
lot
Is
bigger
it
hole.
supposed to be that big?
It is
How
because
do
it's
you
going inside the
insert it?
It
female.
looks kind of flabby.
It's going
So it's
inside
going
the
to-
female.
So it covers her whole.
It'll cover the outside, right?
Oh, so I just stick my thing inside of it?
So
Yeah.
Now the ring thing
Hand-
is what
hand me
it
that.
How
is
can you
me.
feel anything?
so let me show you the visual, and I'm gonna
Because
try
that
to
looks
talk
like
to
that
Still
is a
have
horrible
the walls
experience.
that are
Yeah,
Look,
it looks
So
complicated.
so upon feeling
That
it,
is not, I would love to see how that feels.
so upon feeling it, what everybody said, it kind of feels maybe. I'm not gonna actually put it inside me, people.
Oh.
But everybody.
We were kind
It-
of hoping for that.
She's telling
need to
you
go
all.
viral.
It kind of feels like a traditional male condom.
Mhm.
It may be a little bit stronger, but it kind of feels the same way. So basic.
Super Magnum.
So it is
Right.
it's a sheath, right? This is what we call a sheath,
Okay.
and it's a double ring sheath. So this is the inner,
Yeah.
and this is the
So
outer.
she
sheath.
puts that part in first?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you see, it actually
Ah.
has.
How does she put it in? She put it in, she sucks it up?
So you have to squeeze it, right,
Mhm.
Sheneka? Right?
Yes.
You gotta play with it a little
Somebody
bit.
ain't used that before.
Don't do that.
It was just freshly open. It's not.
No,
it's
not
used
that
as-
exact one, but I'm just saying in general.
I've never
So you're
used
gonna
it.
squeeze this as best as you can, and it's gonna be tricky. And then you insert it in.
So it's like the Diva Cup, kind of. You squeeze
Yeah.
it in. Insert
You push it as far in as you can go. So
Yeah.
ultimately, it's supposed to be like,
Yeah.
Oh, he just sticks inside the condom.
yeah.
I
So
wonder
this
how that
ring
feels,
is supposed to kind of be flat up
Yeah.
inside you.
Yeah.
Which it will once he pushes inside.
Uh-huh. This is actually going to be on the outside of the body.
Okay.
So it's covering the vulva and everything.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, can a
And-
woman get an orgasm off of that?
Yes.
So this, so this
Tell me
female,
more,
Can I get
Sheneka.
one to
She-
take home?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering
How
if she
does
knows
it
anything
feel?
about that.
I have more. I'll give you some, but I don't have them with me. And there's a couple of educational pieces that I want to talk about this as well. So Sheneka said she was trying to protect her brand, but just said, yeah, about the
Because that's what I read.
Oh, you're right.
You know, I'm the
You know what? You know what?
That was a hell of a curve. I like that one.
She
said that's what I heard.
So this inner ring actually can provide extra stimulation, heightened stimulation for the woman. Okay, because it's supposed to lay up all the way up against your cervix, right? once it's inserted inside of the body, it kind of, it doesn't melt, but it kind of becomes more pliable. Okay. So it's not like this. It kind of fits into the inside of the woman.
It's like getting a condom stuck in a woman.
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because it does have some lubrication, the suggestion is that you use additional lubrication. Mm-hmm. Okay. It can be inserted prior to up to 2 hours before sex, so that if you are a woman and you feel like going out for the night and you want to choose somebody, you can put it in prior to getting to where you gotta go. This is the only contraceptive for females that actually prevent STIs and pregnancy.
Oh wow!
There's no other female contraceptive except for that does that. Birth control, pregnancy, IUDs, pregnancy, things of that nature. So this will protect you against STIs as well.
I did not know that.
I'm giving you some education.
Thank you. Indeed.
If you have insurance based upon the Affordable Care Act, it's probably going to be covered under your insurance with no copay. Wow. And you can receive, I think, at every time. And if you have a prescription, so if you get a prescription, it's covered with 0 copay. And for every prescription, I think you get 11 or 12 units. And you get refills as well.
That's about twice a week, not bad.
Mm-hmm. If you don't have insurance, if you don't have a doctor to go to, if you don't want to go to your doctor, you can actually get a prescription on FC2, which is the manufacturer of this female condom. And it's like you can get a promo code where the doctor's appointment, which is just a online appointment per se to ask you a few questions, can be free. And then you take it to the pharmacy and you get your contraceptives for free. Okay.
I like.
How many people are willing to try?
I do. Can you send me home with one? I could try that tonight.
When I get a sex life, I would love because I don't own a vagina. So
what you can try?
You can see a vagina loving friend.
Yeah, so I know that you into.
That's pretty bold. Hey, baby, look. Here you go.
She probably heard of it before.
About 2 hours before we get into it.
So how would you feel if a female handed you
up to 2 hours before? She can wait for you when y'all about to get it in.
Right. And how would you feel if a woman handed you a regular condom?
I'll be thank you.
Exactly.
So
like,
she may be receptive of you handing this her as well that you want to try it.
I would be
give it a female. Hold on, does the man still have to wear
I don't know.
No.
But it does look kind of complicated though.
Now, this is the thing.
It's gonna take me some while to trust that.
You're absolutely right. So this is the thing. With anything trying for the first time, it's going to be something that's going to feel, even not if uncomfortable, something you got to get used to. Yeah. So the suggestion from the company is that you at least give it a try 3 times.
Okay.
And you probably will incorporate this into your contraceptive routine.
Okay.
I'm absolutely willing to try it. Definitely try it.
That probably happened with regular condoms. Nobody got it right the first time.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oh yeah, I didn't have condoms.
I just pulled out.
So my suggestion, and again, this is free contraceptives, like really.
I want to try it. I'd be willing to.
I want to try it.
Why not?
Okay.
Sure. Maybe one day when I'm blessed to be able to encounter.
Definitely.
Anyway.
So we've had.
Over here texting nonstop.
I'm blessed. Like tonight.
After the show.
Right. The after party.
So we went all around in this conversation in regards to sex.
Celibacy matters.
We've asked some. We've asked some questions in regards to maybe some misconceptions. We've had a dialogue about likes and dislikes and the need for communication, and we had an educational piece.
Yes,
we talked about the female condom.
You ladies today. Thank you, ladies, very much.
How much more do you want to know about vaginal orgasm?
You know, you got a circle of motion.
Now that's a G. That's a G.
I'll come hither.
But that's too
okay.
fast.
Come hither.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
See, I need to
sit
down.
Piggybacking off on your question.
Saying, come here to someone who's slow.
What?
That's not. I don't even know if that's.
I was so not ready for that. Okay, but how many are there? Because you asked the question earlier. Like, how many do we know of? So how many are there?
I think Tracie probably gave.
I said 13.
You said 13?
Damn, that's a lot.
Normal.
And it may not necessarily be all on the same person.
It may not be an orifice.
Oh, so when different women.
So that's the thing.
Okay.
So
it's erogenous zone.
It's erogenous zone.
Big
so
words.
an erogenous zone, your ear can be an erogenous zone for you.
Exactly.
So you may be able.
Oh, so it's about the conversation you have with the woman prior to the long.
No. Like we were saying, like if you touch or breathe.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Should you ask her what her erogenous zones are?
She may or may not know.
Just look up erogenous zones.
But
we all have erogenous
You're right.
zones.
But erogenous zone, I guess getting back to, my understanding is there's only certain places you're going to feel an orgasm, right? So somebody may touch your ear, rub your head, touch your lower back. That may make you orgasm. But where are you actually going to come? Probably, I'm thinking if it's nipple stimulation, that gives what kind of orgasm? Isn't that a vaginal orgasm?
I think it makes vaginal.
It makes her vaginal flutter and twitch.
I think most of them are vaginal.
Most of
except for G-spot, clitoral, cervical.
Right. Yeah. So cervical. I think there's about 3 or 4. So you can have an orgasm anally.
Is that a cervical?
Oh, that too.
Anally, G-spot, vaginal, and cervical.
So outside of those 5, the rest of them are probably all vaginal.
All vaginal. Depending on whatever it is that you're stimulating is probably going to be
I know
a
when
vaginal
you come in your dreams, it's definitely vaginal.
Yeah.
And the orgasms are different.
Oh, yes.
So usually when you have a vaginal orgasm, it's a deeper orgasm. For me, my experience, than a clitoral orgasm. Would you agree?
No, the clitoral is deeper.
I disagree. I think for me, anyway, the G-spot is the deepest.
Well, yes, you're absolutely right. I would say that the G-spot is the most.
Yeah, that one.
And then it's vaginal,
so
and then it's clitoral for me. Well,
orgasm from the G-spot, that's more like
it's deeper.
Yeah,
it's deeper. So, it's deeper and intense.
It can last like 30 minutes, man.
No
it's
way,
a long fucking time.
It's deeper.
Like imagine coming for 30 minutes.
Oh,
it's a long time.
Like,
I feel like
I'm don't touch me for a while.
Like it's an out of body experience. Like I'm in the heavens or something.
Really, is that intense?
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I've noticed, the only commonality I've found is that all women had a different answer. So it sounds to me like as men, we need to have more dialogue about getting to know that specific woman and not making any assumptions.
It's different for each
so that means we just can't be having sex with random women like that anymore.
It's different for each woman. You got to learn your woman.
Just don't expect to make all these random women come like most
exactly.
men.
That's my goal. Like, if I can have her.
Shut up,
Demecos.
Shut up, Demecos.
They hit the nipples and now they're trying to go in. Like that doesn't work for all women. Some women don't want those first 3 steps. Some women want all that plus some before you even come up in this. Some women don't want any of that. Just bend me over and fuck me.
True. That's true.
You know,
some women want to be choked.
I'm gonna just
take study your lady, study your woman. Period.
Some women want to choke.
Ask questions.
I ain't choking nobody because I'm getting everybody to sign consent form.
All right, so we've gotten to the end of this episode.
Are we saying that should everybody sign? How would you ladies feel if a guy said sign an NDA?
What is an NDA?
Non-disclosure agreement.
I would.
Dang.
That's too much.
I would.
You're doing too much. Now I feel like you're plotting. Like
I don't think so.
What if he's trying to protect?
Exactly.
I guess I would more so understand if you were a celebrity.
Yeah, if you.
What if he's just a business owner?
No.
Damn.
If it's Demecos,
listen. You are not that special.
So if someone asks you to sign an NDA, that's gonna be a no, and then you're just gonna walk away.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm about to turn me off.
I'm about to start having dudes sign NDAs.
If he wasn't a man of some significant means, no, I'm like, now you're doing too much. Like, no. Where's your
I'm just curious. What would make you want someone to sign an NDA?
Because Pasha B is about to blow up.
Well, hold on. You know what? They never answered my question though about why men don't give the fuck buddy the girlfriend experience. Like, why don't y'all do that?
I do. I can't speak for
recently. Now, I'm not gonna front. In the past, I was definitely one of those guys under the guise of the old mantra of how you treat women. You treat women like you get them, they come in, you kick them out. But now I've learned through, like how I tell women that you gotta sometimes teach men through rejection, through how you treat them. Treat them is that Yeah, I learned that you have to treat women with a certain level of quality that you would almost a woman that you're with. It just makes the sexual experience that much more enticing.
It does.
So I learned that recently, and that I'm talking about within the last 2-3 years.
I think men haven't done that because they're worried about the woman getting too attached,
right?
And they know that they're not going to be able to provide all those intimacy levels that they.
But I think there should be a difference between common decency, because you're actually sex is the most intimate interaction that you can have with someone, right? So why are we, if you're having the discussion with the person, if you're treating them decent and like you said, at least in the moment or in the situation, treating them a certain kind of way, every sexual interaction is a potential
what? Go ahead, babe. Come on.
Every sexual interaction is, number one, is a potential for a child to be reproduced.
Thank you.
And things of that
That's
nature.
true.
So if you're not willing to lay down with a person that you're willing to have a child with, maybe you shouldn't be having sex with that person. I'm just saying, if you can't respect the person enough to not treat them like a piece of meat or an object, then don't have sex with them.
That's all I'm saying. Because every opportunity a pregnancy could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have a lifelong attachment to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you've treated me like a piece of ass the entire time. So how do you think our co-parent situation is going to go?
It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
That's
going
all
to work.
I'm saying.
That's true. That's real. I respect that. Even though I would say normally, like, it's just not realistic that a guy's going to really treat every woman with a sense of, hey, I can potentially have baby. That's just not normal. That's not normal.
Well, it takes two to tango.
I mean, no guy has a sex with a woman.
It takes two to tango. If he's not treating you that way, step away. If you're not getting what you need, step away.
And that's what I do.
Takes two to
all
tango.
Right,
Whose
I'm
responsibility is that?
I'm out.
Both.
I give it
on
two.
That note,
I give it 2 turns.
2 times?
2 turns. 2 times.
2 times.
2 times.
Oh, so you'll give him a second chance?
2 times. I'm out.
I respect you. I like Noelle. Okay.
All right. Uno dos.
Okay.
So Demecos, again, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Noelle, thank you for being here. Tracie, I muted myself. Hi, Tracie, thank you for being here. They gave you so many names today.
Just Jason. It's cool.
Jason, thank you for being here.
No problem. Anytime.
Sheneka, thank you for always being here.
Sheneka, I thought you had some stats.
Oh my God. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Boyfriend, a better husband, a great father, like across the board, it can only help you. It won't hurt you. Yeah. A better employer, a better employee.
Tracie, can I just get you to say hey?
And then people should just have sex afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes
Noelle, say hey. Drunk ass Demecos, say
we
hey.
should do like the Romans did and just have sex after everything.
Okay.
Have sex festivals.
Sex and food.
Jason.
Little boys, right?
Sheneka.
Yo, I'm gonna throw like a sex party at the crib, man. I'm gonna just say fuck it. Only people invited is people who gonna play.